ratio and the perfect length between these two dimensions of the vase here. Now, because of a couple constrictions on the program that I'm using, I can't use this width, which I chose to be my unit of measurement here. I'll put it down here again. I can't rotate these widths to compare to the rest of the vase. So I mean, I could say it's roughly this big. What I would do is I would basically flip my unit of measurement from here to there, 90 degrees, and then use it vertically to compare. This vase has a ratio of 2.5 2.5 units of measurement to its height. So on my paper, I would go, make a vertical version of this, and then say, okay, well, I know that the very top of this vase is a little bit above this line, so this is a bit of a guesstimate. You can do it much more accurately than this, but I would say, okay, so that's 1, and then that's where 1 ends. This might end up getting a little messy. This is where 2 ends. And this is roughly where two and a half ends. So now I know. So 1 unit of measurement, 2 units of measurement, 2.5 units of measurement. So I know that this is now roughly about here. There we go. Sorry, that's the top. So now I know this is the height of my vase. And so you kind of go along like this. Obviously, I didn't get very far, but I could walk you through an entire drawing session just based on math, visual math, though. It's not like I didn't even do any multiplication or real division down here. It's just what I call visual math. And this is the power of proportions. It can really just lay out your entire piece for you. And proportions are what completely encompass the essence of your subject. So if you can learn this method, quite literally, you can draw anything. So we've set up a few steps here to create our own very accurate sketch. So our very first step is 1, blocking out. And this is where we took the object and we broke it into various different shapes, circles, triangles, squares. Wow, that was really an embarrassing square there. Squares, macaroni shapes, anything that you see that is a simple shape that you can easily put on the paper, or even just like the second you look back at the object, you say, okay, that's the shape that I'm looking at. Step 2 was choosing your unit of measurement. And this was that 1 unit of measurement, that 1 length on your object that you compared to the rest of the object, all the other dimensions of the object, to get a good sense of the proportions that are right in front of you of the object. 3. Our third was setting the scale. So this is where we decided to, there we go, finished one thought. So this is where we decided to make the very first decisive moment in our drawing, where we placed our the very first length down, which laid out the entire size and the layout of our composition. So then 4, we measured out the units of, so in 4 we measured out a few dimensions of the object, and then we used the unit of measurement to define them in comparison to the rest of the object. So 5, we plotted the points. This is different than setting the scale, where we plotted really the very first 2 points. Plotting the points after we measure is when we start building the rest of our object with respect to the initial scale set. And then 6, well, what do you know? We connected the dots. This is where we turn those points into lines, and those lines into a shape. So you automatically choose your unit of measurement. You automatically measure out the various dimensions. You can kind of feel already that what the ratios are going to be, and the whole process of drawing to scale and drawing with proper proportions and ratios becomes so much easier, and you can get some really awesome and striking realism in your art, and you can end up drawing anything that's in front of you. So definitely practice this method on lots of different objects. Here are a couple objects that I suggest. Definitely after you do a couple two-dimensional ones, definitely go ahead and do any object that you find in life that you feel like drawing. Make sure it's pretty simple. Don't go too crazy. No like furry things. Fur is really difficult to draw. I will tell you, don't go there. And it's not easy to get proportions right in like the finer details. So I really suggest make sure you have a really good foundation in this step. Practice it as much as possible. I'll try to put up a couple more examples of me doing this through, so you guys can get a better sense of the process from the very first measurement to the very last, and connecting all those dots. So in terms of your assignment, it's pretty predictable what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go find a few things in your house or in your room or on the internet that you can block out like the way I showed you. First block them in the way I showed you, just kind of basically create a couple thumbnail sketches, and then separately do a line drawing with a couple measurements. Remember to save your work. Always save your work, please, no matter how bad you think it looks. I promise you it's worth it. And of course, please remember to take pictures and upload it to 101artst.weebly.com. And remember, I should probably say, this is one of the most difficult and complicated lessons that I'll teach you. And believe it or not, it was the second lesson that I'll teach you. So don't get discouraged. I promise that we'll move on to a couple easier things. But this is a good thing to go back and forth to, because it's an important skill to have, and it doesn't really take a whole lot of a talent. Of course, there's no such thing as talent. As long as you practice, you'll get just as good as anyone with any sort of a talent. So on that note, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I can't wait to teach you some more things, and I can't wait to see your art on 101artstreet.weebly.com. So, alright, thank you so much again. Don't stop drawing. I'll see you next video.